Hey everyone, in this video I am going to talk to you about how we can utilize our development skill set to make some creative agents that is for our personal use, let's say. So this is something not for the production use, because in this video I'm majorly going to talk to you about how Copilot license is going to help us and what if we need the similar kind of functionality without having the Copilot license. So this is strictly, I can say, use for your personal use, because this is the kind of scenario I faced and I just try to build the agent out of this. So one thing, like, I don't have the Copilot Studio license as well. I am on the trial version on the company. So I think it's a 30 or 60-day trial only. So the use case here is, you all know that Copilot have access to our emails, right? So what if you have a lots of email on a daily basis, and if you are someone like who are planning your day, planning your whole week, or you just want to get to know like what are some critical action items for me on that emails wherever we are mentioned. So in this kind of thing, you want to summarize all this kind of thing, create an action item based on that. Also, if you would like to have the summary of the whole week of the email, so in that case Copilot will help you a lot if you have the license. But what if you don't? So here what we can do, let's understand how AI works behind the scene. So what is needed for AI to process? The first one is, I'm just talking about the email kind of thing here, not the complete process. So in order to process our emails, what AI, text-based documents, let's say, or text-based format, because every email we have the text or we have images, what AI works well with the text-based, whether it's a email content, whether it's a document you have, whether it's a PDF you have. Then for the AI, the best way to proceed the unstructured document, structured will also work, but unstructured produce the better results. Then precise prompts. Now from the Microsoft Copilot, they already have that one, but if you want to build our custom one, we have to make some prompt that is more precise. It's not something like you just write the prompt and you publish the agent and it all works fine. No, you have to try that prompt. You have to make it precise, make it work as per your need. So little bit of testing and modification that's needed. So what I did is, let me just give you the flow, like how we are doing this. So we all understand that in order to process, we require a text-based document. Now we all have the emails, right? We, in all the email, we have the text-based content. So first part is already done. Then the second thing is, in order to process with AI, what we need is to have that content in a PDF or document. So there is a Power Automate flow I built. So this is just the overall structure of it, like how it's going to proceed. So every morning at 6 a.m. So time is, this is all I did for my personal work. So every morning what I'm doing is, I'm creating a Power Automate flow. Sorry, there is a Power Automate flow already. The Power Automate flow will run every morning at 6 a.m. Then what it will do, it will get a last 2 days email. So today and the yesterday's email. I am capturing all that information, because in Power Automate we have an action that get emails, and we have the limits as well, like from which folder you want. There is a filter kind of thing as well, how many emails you would like to get. But for the quick view, I just getting the all the emails from my inboxes. Then I am capturing from whom I received that email, the received date and time, subject of that email and body. All this kind of thing we already get in Power Automate. Now to make it more structured, what I am doing is creating a JSON object of it. So there is a one email, there will be also a full email reply thread as well, right? So creating a JSON will helps you understand it better. Then out of that JSON, we already have that array of object in the JSON schema, right? So out of that, I am creating a HTML table. Now we cannot directly pass the HTML file as a input to Copilot or AI, whether it will process, but PDF or text-based document, that will work really well. So there is a OneDrive connector. In that, what we have, we can create a HTML file. So what I'm doing is, once I create HTML table, I'm creating HTML file of it. And there is also connector and the functionality of it, of the OneDrive, like you can convert that HTML file into PDF. So what I'm doing is I got the HTML file. Then second thing I'm doing is converting that HTML file into PDF file and storing that file in the SharePoint. Right. So every day it will create a separate email file for me. I will show you the structure in a bit. Then this step is completely optional. Like if you have just files, because in that file you already have all the information like date and time, from whom you see that email, total content of it. Then this is the additional tip I did because if in later future I want to filter out that files without going to Copilot, I just want to filter like get me emails from this date to this date. So I'm adding some metadata column like from date to date, etc. After that, what I'm doing is when I create the file, I have this naming convention. It says my emails underscore from date and to date because there is the thing get emails from last 2 days. So let's say today is 1st of May. Then what I'm getting from date will be yesterday, like 30 of April to 1st of May. So this is the complete flow, and after that it will save the file in SharePoint. Now let me show you the structure. So this is my document library. Here we have all the file. As you can see, the files have created every morning. So let's say this is the 4 hours ago, then yesterday at 6 a.m, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, etc. So this flow I have created a weeks ago because I want to give some time it for testing, and to be honest, like it's not competing with the Copilot's license. So but yes, it is helping me to understand my plans, understand my tasks, understand my emails better. So as you can see, all the files are below 200 KB, because if you get all the 50 emails or the 20 emails, the file will be large, but we already have all the emails for the date, so we don't have to get all the emails. So less the structure, less the data, the more accurate result it will give you. Now this is this kind of structure, you understand. The second thing is, let me show you the Power Automate flow. So this is the recurrence flow. Every morning at 6 a.m. I am running. I am getting today's date and yesterday's date. Get my emails action is there. So this is the action. You can pause the video and you can take a look at this. Like I am getting the emails from the folder, then top 50 emails including attachment, because I don't know, there is a case like you get 50 or 100 email daily. Top limit is I think 50 here, but I'm just getting 20 emails. So for this demonstration I wrote a 50, but in the real time I'm just written a 5 or 10 here. Then there is a array I initialize where my emails, because we are appending the information in it, right? So there is an array. Then for every email, so email we get from the API in the form of array of objects. So for every object I am extracting the selected information only. What that information is? Only this thing from received at subject and body. But if you take a look at the response from that connector, there is a lot of information, but we don't require that. So I'm creating HTML file. So this is just the code I use from ChatGPT to have a properly file created. Then I'm using convert file action. So once I create HTML file, I'm using the convert file connector. So as you can see, there is an option like target type. So from HTML, I'm converting it to PDF. Then I am creating that file in a SharePoint library. Now that SharePoint site is shared with me only. So also this is the personal use only. I did not share that site because email is the sensitive thing. So if you are doing it, make it really confidential, right? Then I'm updating that file property. So updating file property, that means I told you like I use some metadata columns like from date and to date. So after this thing, the flow will run successfully every morning. And let me show you the result I get. But first, let me show you the prompts and how I created that agent. So the description, just I gave it like this agent will help me summarize my critical emails, plan my action items better, plan my day, etc., etc. And these are the kind of instructions. So these are just the general instruction like how I want this agent to behave to my queries. The only three things I wanted to achieve, because these three things like task planning, second one is planning the next day, because there are some emails, there are some action item. If someone gave you the task to you and told you like this should be completed by the Friday EOD or Thursday EOD. So we have that email and timestamp. So if you ask agent to plan your day or plan your whole week, it can plan it according to dates that is mentioned in the email, right? And this is just something, this is the confidential thing I wanted to hide for the demo purpose. So this is not something I'm using it for the live one, but yes, I'm showing the demo because there are some names, there are some client email I don't want them to showcase here, right? So I just use this instruction to hide all this kind of thing. And once everything is done, what I want in a response, the bullet points, checklist, and the time-based agenda. These three things I wanted the most, and this is the where I spent a lot of time when I start my work in the morning. So I think let's say there is half hour, let's say I took every day. So from this, it almost in a minute I can say. Now the orchestration, you can ignore this thing. We don't need everything here. I did not added any action. I did not added any knowledge source except that library. As you can see, there is no action, no triggers, the only starter prompt. So these prompts for me only, like how I used first summarize my email, what is the today's action item, plan my work week, who needs my reply. Because what happens if you are on long leave, there is a complete email thread and there are some time that you are mentioned on that thread. So you want to know like, okay, which client needs my response, which email is there that needs my immediate response, right? Highlight key topics and create a task list. So I generally use this summarize, create task list, and who needs my reply, because these are the 4 or 3 things that I do on a daily basis. And this is the publish agent only. So these are the startup prompts. So I'm not going to test it in a real time because once it get me a response, it has all the emails and all the people's name that I don't want to show here. So I did a little test, and here are some prompt I gave. I queried it like get me the most critical action item and summarize the emails from this state to this date. So see what a response it got me. So as you can see, there is some names hidden here. So this is for the confidential purpose only. Now, as you can see, like these are some topics. All these are the emails, and as you can see, these topics and project primary focus on the email during this specific period. So these are the action items, or we can say the bullet points or the information that I needed. So once I got the information, I can just prompt in to create a task or create an action item based on this summary. So this is the agent what I published and added to myself only, and it's a Teams interface directly, right? So you can directly chat it. So this kind of thing you can do, I guess, using the Copilot if you don't have the license. But yes, if you know how things work behind the scene, you can do it. Now, the another thing is there is one idea I wanted to try it out, because we can save the email as a .eml or .msg, right? So instead of having all the flow created, we can just store that email file in the our document library, and we can ask them to summarize. But when I was trying it out, then there was some issue, like it cannot directly read the content of the email file because there are some restrictions. Like AI currently able to understand only text, PDF, images, or Excel. I think there are file limitation. So I wanted to try to build an agent to get the file context from that EML file, but there are some errors and I spent a lot of time, so I hold that part. And this is the thing I did in the last. So having the text-based content from the get email section, store in a PDF, pass it to library, and just do a Q&A on a daily basis. So I think this is how you can use it, the Copilot agent, for your personal use. If you know how things works, then if you have better understanding like how this agent will help me, right? So you don't need a Copilot license. And there is one thing, like you cannot just directly ask them a question. Like there is a Copilot for the emails. There are certain limitations as well, like there are some rag limitation. Let's say you can read a documentation of it, but in this document library, what I can do, instead of like every 2 days, I can just delete the older files from here. right? Because every time I ask the Copilot, I don't want that Copilot to search in the complete library. I just want what's inside there in the past few days. So after every 2 or 3 days, I am deleting all the content from here. So I will have the limited content. So my answer will be precise for the selected dates only. Okay, so this is the kind of thing I wanted to share with you, and I think you got the flow idea. And if you have any questions or any doubts regarding this, you can always let me know in comments. Thank you.